What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Yesterday, I put out a beginner intermediate follow along footwork tutorial where you could move with me and practice all the basics of kickboxing footwork, or MMA for that matter. But today, as promised, we are focusing on intermediate advanced. This one's gonna challenge you guys a little bit more, probably challenge me. It's gonna make sure that we have an opportunity to really drill footwork by itself, because I don't feel like enough gyms do this. They teach you the basics of punching, the basics of the stance, the basics of kicking, and they kind of neglect a couple things in my opinion, one of which is solely working footwork, the other one is solely working defense. So we're going to address one of the two of those today with this follow along tutorial. Guys, make sure you have some water nearby, and let's get started and have some fun. So guys, if at any point during the video you go, whoa, this is way over my head, this is too much, then you need to refer back to the beginner video. That's not a big deal. You go through that, you run through it a couple times, and then you return to this one. But for all those guys out there who are ready for a challenge, I'm looking forward to sharing some footwork drills with you right now. So, shoes on, barefoot, doesn't really matter. Make sure you're ready to work. And let's run through a couple things I mentioned in the beginner video. Because we're in the advanced one, doesn't mean we still shouldn't talk about it. We're talking about when I move forward, however long my stance was, when I land, in my change, it's the exact same thing when I move forward. I move this direction, the width of my stance needs to stay the same. I'm not ending up like this, or moving back and coming very narrow, always land in the exact same stance. And the other point that I mentioned, which is worth repeating, is head position should not come up and then down. Up and then down. People have bent legs and then they think straight and that head bounces. And that means as I move in, I put myself elevated, where if I get hit, front kick, punch to the head, I'm gonna get knocked backwards much too easy. So I make sure I move in with my knees bent. Even when I'm being explosive, I have to stay nice and low so I'm not compromising my structure. And the other day when we did the beginner video, we were focusing on full stances. Today we're gonna work half steps as well. So our first one, for the moment, footwork. This one seems very entry level, but it's very important. We are simply going to step and draw back. Step and draw back. We're going to do 5 of those, very explosive, and then we're going to add the jab, because this becomes one of the better ways to throw a jab and one of the better ways to feint as well. So from your fighting stance, you're going to step and draw back. This is going to be done as fast as you can. Make sure you get your head off the center line as you step forward. So my head was here. I step in, I drop. I step in, I drop. Ready. Off the front legs, quick as you can. 1, 2, 3, and you can stay light on your feet in between. 4, 5, now add the jab. Every time we step out, we add that jab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now a lot of these ones are going to be fairly basic still, because the motion is not overly complicated. It's just you actually being able to execute it. So we won't go too many times on it. But now let's move to the back leg. Exact same thing. Somebody goes to approach me. I decide, okay, I don't want to disconnect completely. I just want to move a little bit. I want to step back so that I can then throw my counter shot. I create a little distance and then I throw my counter shot. Guys like Conor McGregor are very good at utilizing this technique. It's just a half step off the back leg. I go 1, 2, but then from there, we now take a full step back. And that now equals one big stance switch. 1, 2, 3. Reset. 1, 2, 3. The first 2 have to be fast. 1, 2 is done very quick. Third one can be a little bit more chill. All right, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go to 10, 6, ooh, that's it, 7, I'm doubling up, I'm going in the advanced thing already. Pause it down, slow it down. 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, we might as well jump to the advanced version of that since I already gave you a sneak peek at what it looks like. So instead of going 1 and then 2, I do both of them at the same time. Step, and I punch simultaneously. Again, once I've hit here, then I do my full back out. So we're just upping the speed on the last technique which we did. All right, 10 counts, step, and as soon as your foot hits the ground, you land your cross with a full body rotation. Ready? 1, 2. This is a great drill for guys with long arms. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. The reason that one is more effective than the last one, on this one we step and we imagine the jab is right here. And then we counter as they rechamber. On the last one that we did, we see any forwards movement and we just stick our hand out right down the middle. And if we're fast enough, any shots that they throw will simply ricochet off our punch, or if we have the longer arms, as I mentioned, it's beneficial for the guy to have longer arms on that drill. As soon as they start stepping in, I just go boom, and I hit them. Every time they move in, I create a little bit of distance for myself, and then I hit the guy. This is ideal to do when the guy with the shorter arms feels he's within punching range. Just as he sneaks into punching range, and I haven't utilized other footwork, then I just take that little half step back and smack him in the head. For him now to continue approaching, he's gonna have to walk through my follow-up shot, whatever that might be. But we'll get to that later in the video. All right, next up, very traditionally, when people move, it's right foot moves back, left foot stays in front. We maintain this stance all the time. We're either orthodox or we're southpaw. But some people who are very advanced are very good at backpedaling or moving forward by taking full steps. They step backwards, they punch, they step backwards, they punch. And they can do the same thing going forward. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, this is more, looks kind of karate-esque, but you will see very high level kickboxers or MMA fighters use this to cover a dramatic amount of distance. If we're moving forward, I'm chasing the guy down, and if I see somebody coming towards me, I'm defending, throwing shots in this guy's face. So every time he attacks, he gets worried about running into punches. So very simply, as I step backwards, take a full step backwards from my normal stance, my front shoulder pops in front even further. This is to make sure I'm throwing my jab as my right leg lands, and then as I step backwards, I throw my cross as what was the cross before, as my left foot lands. So just to start off slow, take a step back, right leg in front, left shoulder, and then vice versa. And we reset, step, step. Now just add those punches slowly. It's what was the jab, but becomes a cross, but it's off the lead arm first. Lead arm, back arm. Right, let's do that 3 times nice and slow. And 1, reset, 2, reset, 3, and now we just have to do that fast. It's a rush. 1, 2, just back fast. The punch speed is basically 1, 2. There's not a big amount of time in between each punch. Rush those feet, and the hands have to keep up. Ready, 10 times, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is one of those techniques that personally I don't use. It's not something that I've had a lot of success with outside of sparring. In the ring, in competition, not for me. But that doesn't mean I won't teach it, because it's very likely that 10, 20, 30% of the people out there will enjoy this technique and want to add it to their arsenal. This is what a good coach does. He teaches things that don't only work for him, but that don't work for him and might work for others. And that can be done moving forwards as well. In my stance, I step, and I just chase somebody down. Guys like John Wayne Parr used to do this very often, and if you're somebody who likes to attack while running, essentially, it's a great technique for you to learn. Right, from here, I want to work on taking the back foot and cutting an angle. My chest is square, and very often when I move, for the most part, I keep my chest fairly square with any foot motion. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take our back leg. We're going to kick the heel backwards, and we're going to rotate the upper body. This is good for a number of reasons. Number one, somebody like Floyd Mayweather, he's standing like this, he sees somebody attack, he does his check hook as he angles off. This gives him the opportunity to move his body off on an angle and potentially catch the guy behind the ear from an odd angle. Of course, the danger of this one being once you cut here, the back of your head is a little bit exposed compared to before, but if you're good, you'll take the little adjustment and then you'll be back to your normal stance. So to break this one down slowly, back leg, move it in the direction of the heel, not in the direction the toes are pointing, opposite direction. You're going to disconnect this foot, don't let it lift high, just slide it and angle your body, and you're going to come a little bit beyond this foot that was in the lead. This one takes a slight angle, and then if you have to, you adjust out back to shoulder width with the lead leg. Done a little faster, step, step. Again, or I guess slide, step. One more time, slide, step. We'll just start with that. No punching or anything for the moment. Ready? And one. You can go as fast or slow as you need to. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, from here, because this is the advanced follow along class for today, we are going to add the shot in, the counter hook. As I twist, it just makes sense to let that left arm, that left hook go, because I'm getting so much shoulder momentum anyway. I need to make sure that I don't preload as normal. Normally if I'm here, left shoulder in front, I twist, and then I unwind. But on this one, it's more just of a slap, big smack right from the arm, and then the twist, because I'm rotating so far, I can get enough power in that. But when I get here, I don't want to stop. I want to recenter and get my feet corrected as we just did. Let's do 5 of these with the check hook. This could be done best when somebody's attacking you. They go to throw a cross or something, and you just step off, let the cross breeze by, and hopefully smack them in the head for throwing and exposing the side of that dome. All right, ready? 5 times. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, from here, we want to be able to add in our side step as we roll or as we slip our head. We don't want to be here and have that down and have this down, but not incorporate the two. So as I drop my head, normally I move away. If the punch is coming this direction, I move away from the punch. I start to slip under, I step, and then the other foot follows. And this allows me to be in a great position to miss any follow-up shots. Whereas when I just stand here and I just do that, he can easily come back with a hook on the other side. I evade what would be a left hook, and then all of a sudden the right hook's coming and I have to slip it. But if he throws the left hook and I step, there's no right hook that's following. So we are going to go from side to side. We're going to go one side and then to the other side. And one side and then to the other side. Always extending my stance and then shrinking it. That's the general rule of thumb for stance work. All right, let's start off moving one direction, slip with the step, and then close the distance of that stance. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna give you guys only one more drill for today in terms of stances, and then from there we'll leave it because this has turned into a fairly long video already. But if you guys want a follow-up one, a more dynamic, just non-stop 20-minute footwork, which will actually engage the cardio, definitely let me know in the comments below and I will get that made, because like I said, footwork is neglected, but this is something you guys can easily drill at home. You don't need a big space. I'm working here in pretty much 3x3. Like each of these mats I think is a meter, so I'm working a meter by meter. 1 square meter, that's all I need for these footwork drills. We don't need a big massive space, we don't need gloves, we don't need a bag. Perfect for at-home training. The comment down below will be the thing that makes it happen. Do that for me right after the video's done if you guys are interested in seeing that follow-up episode. And finally guys, we're going to be incorporating 2 movements, one of which we have not done today. I call it a V-step. So if I was stepping in with my cross and I need to cover distance, I don't want to go straight because that means my head is straight on the center line for the counter shot. I want to step out on an angle. That's my V. I take 1 foot out on the V, and then I throw my cross. It's up to me whether I want to intentionally dip my head more or if I just want to leave it fairly neutral, but either way my head has moved. Now that's the first part of the drill. The second part is what we already practiced today. We angled off with our back foot because we come 1. Once we're here, we might as well come up and angle and come back to a neutral stance and really cut off so there's no counter shot available. So it's step with the left foot or the lead foot, leave that there. We're in a very long stance now. It probably doesn't feel great, but you correct it by bringing your back foot up and sliding it across the ground. Don't just pick it up and stop here. Slide it and punch that shoulder across. And what you could do, if you were inclined, is go step punch, slide punch. And we already practiced that before as well. But I'm going to not do the hook right now. I'm just going to stick with the cross and then the slide. All right, 10 times. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go, guys. Now, don't sign off yet. Listen to these next instructions because these are important. Assuming enough people want me to make a follow-up video, that's great. I'll get it done, but it always takes me a week or so to get everything planned, to film it, to edit. In the meantime, you guys can either follow along with these videos again. I have the beginner one and now the advanced one, which we're doing today. Or you can also, after you've tried both of them, start moving around. Light shadow boxing, really slow. And then practice footwork. That was footwork right there. Footwork. Move in. Angle off. He moves towards me. Check hook. What we just did. Step. Angle. Maybe I step backwards and then forwards. And then I do a couple fake shots. And you start going slow shadow boxing, but incorporating that footwork. Adding the kicks in is really no different. I just do something like forward, out, forward, kick, exit. Or something like step back, throw my round kick. There's so many ways that everything we did today can be incorporated with kicks as well. I didn't do it today, just mostly because my legs are super tight from my workout yesterday. Upper body was easier, but it's very easy for you guys to do that yourself. So make sure you add that in, and if you want that extra video, it will be coming soon. You guys will let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this advanced follow along tutorial. If you did, please give it a like. If you guys haven't already, join the channel. Train hard, guys. I'll see you back here soon for another video.